Yo, what is going on, guys? AIbeats back again with another video. Today I'm going to be going over mixing vocals over a beat. I'm going to go over everything from EQs to limiting to gates to all this other stuff. A shout out to Milky. It's this new song that we've been working on. We've been working on a few tracks together, but this is the new one he just sent me over, and I talked to him and he said it's cool if I use it for this video. But I really like the way it came out, so let's get into it. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like the video and subscribe. I'm going to be putting out way more tutorials, way more content, and way more just like beats and whatever vlogs or other stuff you guys want. So go ahead and subscribe for more of that, and let's get into it. Okay, so here's the beat and the vocals laid out. So I've already went through and done it, but I'm just going to go over and tell you all exactly what I did. So let's get into it. So right now, here's the beat that is used. And then here is the beginning of the vocals.
Many thoughts cruising in my brain. Many thoughts.
Alright, so basically the first thing I did is I split up the entire vocal track into the different parts. So I have the intro here where she's singing, and then her first verse that comes in. So then I chopped it up there. I tamed the hook.
Am I making you proud?
Breakdown. And then when Milky comes in, I made it verse 2.
Thoughts really butter fans, plans don't you ever let
Verse 3. And then verse 4.
Evolved. Can you see me now?
So there's that. So with that, I then routed each separate part of the song to its own channel, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna choose a separate channel all by itself. I just chose channel 10 here, and you're gonna select all of your channels with all your vocals. So like hold control and then drag over to all your vocals, and then once you do that, you're gonna come down here, right click on this little button down here and do route to this track only. I've already done it, so I'm not gonna do it again. But once you do that, everything, when it plays, will now come through this channel, and it's kind of the master channel for all the vocals. So everything I put on here and everything, the volume, it will affect every one of the channels. But I can also go into each separate channel and do separate effects to it for different parts of the song. So that's kind of why I do that. So as you'll see, as it's playing, it comes through this main fader. So let's get into the very first thing I did. So what I did first is I wanted to get the master chains going, basically. So I went to, I'm into Milky's main first verse, and I just looped it, and then this is what I did. So the first thing I did was I added this EQ. Basically, it's a really simple EQ. It's just cut out the lows.
Thoughts really bypass, man, my heart says try to stay the course, but my mind yells you.
So what you can do is we're actually going to mute the beat, and then we're just going to listen to the vocals. But basically, you're going to want to play with this first knob, and you'll hear it, but so watch. We'll keep sweeping down, and we're starting to lose more and more of his vocals, so we'll pull it back a little bit.
You are just a coward. Do you really deserve fans? No,
but we don't want all of this, but we also want it to where there's still enough to where there's definition to his voice.
Overcome the ego. Don't you give a damn what these people see, though? Yeah, thoughts really bypass, man. My heart says try to stay the course, but my mind yells you can't. You don't have the game or the sense of strength, man. You are just a coward. Do you really deserve fans? No, that is negative, bro. You gotta.
Perfect, right there. The rest of these are sweeping. So what you do is you take each band and then you make it really skinny and you bring it up to as high as it can go, and you listen. You'll hear it's very harsh, high frequencies and mid frequencies, and it's sweeping. You basically sweep across, and you hear when it's very
try to stay the
harsh.
Course, but my mind yells you can't. You don't have the game or the sense of strength, man. You are just a coward. Do you really deserve
right there.
fans?
And then you just take this band and you bring it down just a little bit, and then that makes it to where it's not as harsh.
Thoughts really bypass, man.
And I did that for all of these, and this is what the vocals sound like after the EQ.
Thoughts really bypass, man. My heart says try.
So with it off,
Thoughts really bypass, man. My heart says try to stay the course, but my mind yells you can't. You don't have the game or the senses.
So it basically just makes the vocals much cleaner. The next thing we'll add is a Maximus. We're going to use Maximus as a Deesser. So what you're going to do is you're going to come in here to presets. You're going to click Deesser split band. Once you click that, you're going to get this screen, and I like to choose monitor right here so that way the frequencies will show up. But you're going to be listening for the harsh S's in the vocals, and it's usually going to be around the like high-end 5K range. So then what you're going to do is you're going to find it and then kind of make this band like
thoughts really
surround it.
Bypass, man, my heart says try to stay the course, but my mind yells you can't. You don't have the game or the sense of strength, man. You are just a coward. Do you really deserve fans? No, that is negative, bro. You gotta make plans, don't you ever.
And then what you do is you're gonna come into this mid section right here, and then you're gonna start messing with these, and you're just gonna turn it down to where when it's basically it's a limiter to where when a certain frequency hits, it's gonna turn it down automatically, which is the Deesser.
Thoughts really bypass, man, my heart says try to stay the course, but my mind yells you can't. You don't have the game or the sense of strength, man. You are just a coward.
So it's really subtle, but it'll make a big difference at the end.
Thoughts really bypass, man, my heart says try to stay the course, but my mind yells you can't. You don't have the game or the sense of strength, man. You are just...
So next thing I add is a compressor. Basically, it's going to be to where not every vocal is going to be the same volume. So what this compressor is going to do is you're going to go to it and you're going to take this threshold and take it to where, so it's going to start at 0, but not all of your vocals are going to be at 0. So what you're going to do is you're going to find it to where so this is what it does.
But my mind yells you can't.
So it's gonna push everything
or the
to be
sense of strength,
it's gonna
man.
level
You
it basically.
are just a coward. Do you really deserve
and for
fans?
me, negative
no,
16
that
work
is
for this
negative,
track.
bro. You gotta make plans.
And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn this ratio up. So this is what's gonna be at.
Thoughts really
But then you turn it
bypass,
up.
man. My heart says try to stay the course, but my mind yells you can't. You don't have the game or the sense of strength, man. You are just a coward.
And then after that, it's gonna be the gain's gonna be at 0. But since you turned it down in the threshold, it's gonna be kind of quiet. So you're gonna want to take this gain knob and just turn it up to boost the vocals back up.
Thoughts really bypass, man. My heart says try to stay the course, but my mind yells you can't. You don't have the game or the sense of strength, man.
So the next thing we're gonna add is a saturator, basically. But what we're gonna use is we're gonna use the stock Fruity Fast Distortion for that. So there's gonna be barely anything, but basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in here, and I didn't even use a preset or anything. I just messed with the knobs. I put mix all the way up and the threshold all the way down. The pre can kind of stay in the middle right here, and then the post you'll want to play with. So the only ones you're going to really want to worry about are the threshold and the post. So mess with the threshold or the post,
says try to stay the course, but my mind yells
and then
you
this
can't.
threshold, since the mix is all the way up, the more this threshold, the more distortion there will be. But you don't want a lot of distortion because it's obvious. You don't want a lot of distortion. So we're going to just mess with it to where there's still a little bit to where it kind of get some saturation to the vocals, but still not enough to where it's distorting the vocals.
Thoughts really bypass, man. My heart says try to stay the course, but my mind yells you can't. You don't have the game or the sense of strength, man. You are just a coward. Do you really deserve fans? No, that is negative, bro. You gotta make plans. Don't you ever let go. You have the fucking chance to overcome the ego.
Right there, perfect. Next thing we're gonna add is just a reverb. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna so what I do is I turn the wet all the way up on this, and the dry all the way down. So this is basically what it sounds like turned all the way up. You're going to take this low cut knob and turn it all the way up. Basically it's going to be, so with this down here, there's going to be a lot of low end still there. But when you turn it up, it kind of gets rid of it to where it's only the high end of the verb. So then you can turn this bass, decay, and dampness down. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into this knob right here and turn it down to where it's just where you want it. It's all preference, but you don't want a ton of reverb.
Thoughts really bypass, man. My heart says try to stay the course, but my mind yells you can't. You don't have the game or the sense of strength.
So this is what it sounds like without it.
Thoughts really bypass, man. My heart says try to stay the course, but my mind yells you can't. You don't have the game or the...
So it's just a nice little bit of reverb that it adds. Last thing we're going to add on the main channel of the vocals is a Fruity limiter, and we're going to use this as a gate. So what you're going to do is when this pops up, you're just going to not want to mess with anything, but this gain knob will be all the way turned up. You're going to want to turn it all the way down to 0. Then the only thing you're going to mess with is the threshold knob. So basically, while they're talking, there are going to be times in a track where there will be nothing happening, like breaths and stuff. So like right there. So without the limiter on, you can still hear a lot of the background resonance of the microphone, other reverbs and delays, and just stuff like that. So
many thighs keep making you cold.
basically what's going to happen is when you have this limiter on, you're going to mess with this threshold. So when it's up like this, anything that's below this line is going to get cut. So it's going to sound like this right now because there's nothing above that level. But like right here, you can hear some vocals, right? Let's go to the verse.
Really bypass,
So it's choppy because there are parts when he's talking where it's not getting as loud as the rest of it. So you're going to keep turning it down until it's until you can hear all the vocals, but also where it cuts when there's no talking.
Really bypass, man. My heart says try.
You really don't want choppiness though.
You can't. You don't have the game or the sense of strength, man. You are just a coward. Do you really deserve fans? No, that is negative, bro. You gotta make plans. Don't you ever let go. You have the fucking chance to overcome the ego. Don't you give a damn what these people see, though. Yeah, thoughts really bypass, man. My heart says try to stay the course, but my mind yells you can't. You don't have the game or the sense of strength, man. You are just a coward. Do you really deserve?
That sounds good. So that's it on the for me anyways. That's what I do on my main vocal chain. But then what I'll do sometimes, depending on, so for this case, there wasn't a lot I wanted to add to the verses and stuff. Like, for some hooks, like people want like distorted like vocals, or, you know, they want their vocals to sound like a telephone or stuff like that. But there's really none of that in this song. It's just gonna be nice, clean vocals. What I did though, I did add on the intro though these three things. I just added another EQ again. Doesn't do them a lot, but just a little bit of the low end taken away. I added a delay. A little bit of a delay you can hear. And then I added this reverb just to make it a little bit more spacious for the very beginning intro. Kind of gives it a nice texture to it. The only other thing I added was on the verse 4. On his last verse, I felt like it needed, like, for some reason I felt like the vocals weren't as crisp as the other ones, so I literally just came in here with another EQ.
Can you see me now? I resolve what they coated me like a cloud. I avowed all my feelings, all these thoughts in my mind. I was weak. Was this really how a nigga was defined? I'm not designed like this. I really just can't quit. I call it an all-out blitz.
So that's what I added for that, and everything else I left the same. Another thing I'm gonna say is don't forget to like turn on the track again and listen to it. Listen to the vocals with everything, because vocals can sound good by themselves, but until you put the track on there, it can change the entire feel of it, and it won't sound good. So make sure you're listening to the actual track with the vocals and not just mixing the vocals.
Many thighs cruising in my brain. Many thighs driving me insane. Many thighs keep taking your soul.
Alright, so that's basically it for mixing vocals. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more. Also, I don't know when this song is going to be released, but make sure you go check out Milky. He's been putting out a lot of heat, and we've been working together a lot recently, and he's just really talented, and I look forward to the songs that we continue to make. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.